De-escalation file loading.
I was a youth pastor for upwards of 20 years and took one of my youth groups to camp one summer. High school guys, being high school guys, thought it'd be funny. They locked me inside a common bathroom that you shared in like a suite. So it was locked all from the outside. I was locked inside. And they left and thought it was funny. I was knocking, yelling, help, help, help. No one came to my rescue for a while. Finally, someone had come back. They had forgotten something. And they said, "Matthew, how long you been in here?" I don't know. I'd lost track, maybe 20 minutes, 30 minutes banging on the door. I found out who it was. It was two youth guys, high school guys. And I said, I really need to talk to you guys. I brought them in and I said, "Guys, I'm really disappointed you did that. You know, maybe do that for 30 seconds, but don't walk away and not even be there to let me back in the door." But I said, "You know what? We're at youth camp. I'm not going to punish you, but I want to tell you a story."
If you hold two magnets with the same poles aligned, you will notice the magnets repel each other. However, a simple flip of one magnet, they will now attract each other rather than repel. Like magnets, escalated conversations can often be transformed by a simple act of goodwill. The flip model of de-escalation seeks to help you learn to flip the magnet. F stands for focus. Shift your focus from your own emotions to helping the other person calm down. L stands for lead. Each conflict gives you the opportunity to lead through conflict, not deeper into it. I is for initiate. Initiate an act of unexpected and undeserved goodwill. P is for provide. Provide a way out or a next step for the other individual.
So I told him a story about my dad. I could count the times on my hands how many times he raised his voice. I had a pug. We got him brand new when I was 7. And he lived about 13 years. And it was probably about the last couple of weeks of his life. I was trying to give him his food, give him to eat so he could have his insulin. And he would put the food in his mouth and it'd pretty much fall out of his mouth. I kind of knew his time was pretty close to the end. And so all these feelings and emotions, thoughts come flooding in. If I was frustrated, I was angry, not at my dog, just frustrated that I couldn't stop what was happening. I got up and I kicked his food bowl just as hard as I could, just out of frustration. Food goes flying everywhere.
Grief and loss produce a neurological response including heightened activity in the amygdala, the part of the brain responsible for fight, flight, or freeze. Because of this heightened activity, persons experiencing grief may exhibit intensified outbursts of emotions, including anger. In these situations, often the best response is to acknowledge that the anger response is connected to deeper emotions, and to offer the other person patience and understanding where appropriate.
My dad was there, and he had every right. Threaten me, punish me, demand I pick all that food up. But my dad didn't do that. He went over, reached down, got on his knee, and one by one started picking the food up, putting it back in the bowl. Didn't say, "You shouldn't have done that, how could you?" None of that. And man, as soon as I saw my dad doing that, I just felt horrible. So I went over and started picking the food back, putting it in the bowl with my dad. Finally mustered up enough courage because I felt pretty awful about everything. And I said, I'm sorry, Dad. It's about all I could get out. He said, "It's okay. I'm frustrated too. I hate to see Pete go." And just those words, no condemnation from my dad, no shaking his finger. He extended grace to me. And so in telling this story to these guys that locked me in the bathroom, I extended grace to them. And man, they became some of my best friends and some of my best youth leaders because I extended grace to them.
De-escalation complete.